Hello and welcome back to Egypt. In today's video I'm going to be exploring Aswan, a city around 3 times the size of Luxor, about 1.4 million people, and it's the last big city really before the Sudanese border. Right now I am not in the city, as you can see it's nice and quiet. I'm about to visit one of the most famous temples, the Temple of Philae, which is no longer on Philae, it's on Angelica Island, and it's also known as the Temple of Isis. You have to take a boat to reach there, so let's go.
Metal columns, pillars ahead of you shows from where we moved the temple. It was the original location of Philae.
Having taken a boat across, I'm now here inside the Temple of Isis, Temple of Philae. It's 180 Egyptian pounds to enter. Once again, as usual in Egypt, I've had to take off my microphone, so that's why the sound quality has changed. Let's take a closer look. Temple named after Isis, who was the goddess of the moon, known for her magic and healing of the sick. An incredible facade on the front here with intricate patterns. Now inside, look at all the details on each pillar. Even here, depicting the king killing, fighting. Into the heart of the temple and the focal point of worship to the gods. More amazing patterns seem to get greater in intricacy the deeper we go. Depictions of life in ancient Egyptian times on the art around, and granite stone synonymous with Aswan in the middle. From the temple today, we can see the original Aswan Dam in the distance, built in 1902, an incredible feat of engineering for its time to help regulate the flow of the Nile. In the 1960s, that dam was replaced by the High Dam, and Lake Nasser was created. The waters surrounding this area rose, and this temple in its original location had to be moved stone by stone. Thanks to a massive effort by UNESCO, it was done between 1972 and 1980, and the site which my guide pointed out is over there. Not far, its original location, but still submerged in water today. The story of saving temples is a common one since the creation of the High Dam. 17 in total, including 3 churches, had to be moved block by block to a different location. This one sits 20 meters higher than its original spot, and that's been enough to ensure its survival, completely laid out in the same way it was on Philae Island just over there. Having left the Temple of Philae, taken a boat back to the car and driven 6 kilometers parallel upstream, I'm now here by the High Dam, which is just in the distance over there. Can't get too close and take pictures or videos, but that is a monumental achievement done by the Soviets and the Egyptians in the 1960s to replace the original British-built dam, which is the one closer to the Temple of Philae, and 18 times the amount of material was used compared to the pyramids of Giza, to give some context. And the creation of the High Dam in the 1960s allowed them to better regulate the flow of the Nile, and as a consequence created the giant ocean in the southern part of Egypt, the world's largest artificial lake, which is Lake Nasser. Because of the creation of Lake Nasser, many of the temples that were originally once where this water now has risen to needed to be saved and salvaged. And we're about to visit Kalabsha, one of the 17 that I mentioned earlier. Here we are, now inside Kalabsha, its original site, 50 kilometers away from where it is today, next to the High Dam. Built a bit later, during the time of Emperor Augustus, up to around 14 AD, and about 30 years before Christ, he started his reign. You can even see an image of the Roman Emperor Augustus in the middle, so it's a much more recent temple during the Ptolemaic dynasties. Thanks again to UNESCO and the help of the Germans, it was piece by piece put together to save it from the fate of the water. Eerily quiet, no tourists at all, apart from me. Right at the center, Emperor Augustus. Huge, impressive columns, meaning there was once a roof, no longer here, most likely because of earthquakes.
It's a very famous piece to show Horus like a human face with the falcon body. And shows that Isis flew away from her bad brother till she raised her baby away from her bad brother, and started teaching him that he should kill his uncle.
So I've been exploring around Aswan today with my tour guide from Let's Explore Egypt, Emad. So thank you very much. And you'll have seen him in various bits of the video explaining things. It's because I'm also showing the experience of a trip here with Let's Explore Egypt. The link will be in the video description, and you may well have him as a guide if you end up going with these guys as well. So.
Hello everybody.
The High Dam of Aswan, Kalabsha Temple where I just was, and now Beit al-Wali, also saved, 10 kilometers away this one, 3,200 years old, dating back to Ramses II, who was a very powerful ancient Egyptian leader. You can see all of the Africans here with their ivory, coming to offer him food and supplies. and depicted on many of the walls are the fates of those who opposed Ramses II, beheaded, bodies hanging from the temple. And inside, look at this, still preserved today. There are even more better details and colours in Luxor. Ramses II and Amun, the god in human form as a man, all of them carved into the rock.
Blue for gods, they live in heaven. Because sometimes they paint even the god in brown to say that also God took the image of man. Like what we see here, Horus being painted in brown, but mainly painting God in blue.
Hello and welcome back to Aswan. I'm now in the city proper. Night has fallen and I shall be exploring some of the streets to give the alternative side of this video, showing some markets, souks, gonna visit a church as well, all at night when the town comes alive after the hotter hours of the day. So this here is the Corniche, similar to other cities in Egypt like Alexandria, and I guess you could call the Corniche in Luxor one as well. It basically runs along the Nile. The one in Alexandria, of course, is on the Mediterranean, not the Nile. But it's full of these cruise ships, one of which I will be taking tomorrow, but that's to come in another video. A quick drink stop here on the street with Emad. Cheers, by the way. Before heading into the souk, quick refresher, it's a Schweppes pomegranate, Union Jack on there actually, so I'm more at home than I realised. So starting from the southern end, I'm about to walk through the entire Sharia as souk, which sells everything from scarves to perfumes to spices. Finish my sentence for me. Shukran, thank you very much.
Welcome, brother. From Canada?
Britannia.
Britannia?
Yeah.
Where about?
Cambridge.
You're welcome.
Shukran, thank you.
Welcome, brother.
Fresh bread. I can smell it through my mask. All being prepared. You can see some items here.
Yeah. This all Nubian thing.
Old Nubian items. African masks.
Knife.
Knives. For those of you who don't know, Nubia is the region in northern Sudan and southern Egypt. It's a group of people that occupied the area for many years, dating back to the pharaohs. And they have their own culture, their own language. And still today you have Nubians living here in Egypt and also in Sudan. Given a date to try, I haven't actually had one in Egypt so far, so here we go. This one's quite tough, but also very sweet. Tamam. Look at this authentic place, salted fish a big feature of Aswan. You can see the fish in there too. Old Egyptian TV and a small one. Very nice. Walking through here, one almost gets the feeling that in ancient times and even today, it's sort of the gateway to Africa. The kind of things are on sale here, exotic items, Nubian skull caps and masks, and stuffed animals. It's fascinating, and being so close to the border with Sudan, this is almost the last frontier of the Middle East, if you like, towards sub-Saharan Africa. Now in what feels like the epicenter of the souk, full of vegetables and life now, not just clothes but every kind of item you can imagine. Fresh tamarind, the different types of henna, and the famous hibiscus leaves, which you'll find here, especially in Aswan. A little bit like Khan al-Khalili, there is a city wall at the end of the market here. Before I wrap up things here in Aswan tonight, I wanted to show you inside a Coptic church, as I haven't shown any in my videos so far. Churches are all over the country. It's a big part of the religious makeup of Egypt, and some are Orthodox, some are Catholic. This side is for men, and this side for women. Orthodox churches split the genders. Very interesting to take a look inside a Coptic church here in Egypt. A lot of people don't know that 10% of Egypt's population are Christians, and it has the largest Christian population of any country in the Middle East. The history goes all the way back thousands of years before the coming of Islam actually arrived in Egypt. One here in Aswan. There are churches all over the country, in Cairo, in Alexandria, etc. And it's worth taking a look inside one to understand a little bit more about Egypt's religious diversity. Having finished at the church and the souk, I'm going to end today's video here on the Corniche. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it gave you a decent idea of a couple things that you can do here in Aswan. I didn't really cover everything. There's a ton more, but I'm on a tight schedule and I've got trips coming to Abu Simbel. I'm waking up at 4 AM tomorrow, and then my cruise starts where I'll be going through Com Ombo, Erdfu, and also heading towards Luxor to finish off as well. So plenty more coming, many days of vlogging in a row, and hope you enjoyed this video of Aswan. Stay tuned and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.